Both teams in lobby, getting readied up. Let's take a look at the decks. This is Squad Foxtrot, who we just saw lose against 228 in an epic firefight, up against ISRC. OMC, of course, higher seeded right now, sitting in Team 1. ISRC in Team 2. Looking at the decks, looks like we got that Blackjack on the field again, going ranged for Squad Foxtrot. On Team 2, potentially ranged as well. Let's go in and take a look. This is, I believe, the first time Squad Foxtrot has met ISRC in the finals. Is that correct? Yeah, so ISRC has played, this is their 4th match now. They've done a tour.
Yeah, they are getting a lot of practice in, that's for sure.
Guess that's what comes with being low seed, but winning. Goss PPC coming out of the Kodiaks. Everybody's powered up, so that's a good sign. Grasshopper 5P with the ER largest, probably going to be playing up right up in this position. So we'll see if there's any initial trades. Alpha to Alpha, there's only a couple mechs over there right now. Namely that Warhammer, Kamikaze Viking, taking an extremely aggressive play up this left side. I'm not sure if that's going to work real well for him. This was an extremely ballsy maneuver to head up to CSJ Hill, and I think it's going to cost him a little bit of armor. We'll
Got a little bit of a light fight right at Kappa here.
So Squad Foxtrot aggressively taking Kappa. They did chase.
They do not pursue that light.
They did chase Durfee off. I think they got a little bit of a win there. Not a lot of armor, but Kamikaze is making the transition into the open field, and they are putting a lot of pain on him. I think that was a little bit of a misplay for him to head up there. He could end up paying for this dearly. Center torso is open. They're trying to get whatever they can on him right now. But while they're working on Kamikaze Viking, they got to be careful that they're not ignoring the rest of ISRC. Can't get greedy. Lights operating out on the right side. And it looks like Kappa now going to be contested by the lights. Durfee went back and brought a friend. They're jumping back into the Kappa region, and they're going to flip that back. So that's going to be 2 caps in favor of ISRC. So Kamikaze right back into the trades. Do they have anybody on the Spire? They do. We've got Rafnor up there with the PPCs up on the Spire in the backfield. Looks
Kamikaze
like
is hurting, and the Warhammer is not necessarily the best hill peaker.
Hey, I love my damn Warhammer. Get out of here. What are you talking about?
I love the Warhammer. It's not the best hill peaker. That's what I said. I'll stand by that.
Well, you're probably right. But he is open center torso and right torso, and that does have an XL engine in it, most likely. But that's going to put them down on the armor, but he's getting some opportunity to finally trade. He actually had one of his Gauss rifles. No, he didn't have 2 Gauss rifles. He only had the one with the 2 ER PPCs. So he still has all of his original weapons.
I was going to say, if he had a Gauss rifle explode and not lose his XL, that's impressive.
Yeah, but no, he only had the 1 Gauss. So the trades are continuing in. They're putting a lot of shots in on Rafnor, but he's using his cover very well. Here comes a strike. Let's see if this makes contact. Looks like it got a little bit of scratch in there, hitting some of his back armor. But Spire to Spire, J.K. Flesher up on top on the opposite side. He's got a strike coming in as well. And it looks like he had an arm pop. Not going to matter all that much. But in terms of percentages, ISRC has 2 pretty hurt mechs. Arjuna down next to Kamikaze. These guys kind of up high here, trading hard, hemorrhaging a little bit of armor as well. Squad Foxtrot not doing too terrible.
No, I think Squad Foxtrot has the edge right now. It's close, but I feel that they have the edge.
Now, there's
a nice arty strike here on the Kodiak.
There's a big thing to consider, and that's that ISRC somehow managed to get a sneak on Theta. Black Jesus is going to go up and try and take it back now. but
I think he's going to be able to do that.
he should be able to do that. Having a 3 cap is going to be pretty big.
And they've got
Kappa as well. Wow. So that's a 4 cap in favor of Squad Foxtrot. That's going to force ISRC into some sort of movement. We'll see once they start actually going in whether or not the armor they've lost is going to cost them. J.K. Fletcher gets some big hits on him too, but it's pretty well spread out. Sarah has MWOWC in this Kodiak here, trying to get some massive hits downfield, but right torso looks like it's starting to bleed a bit. So 4 cap is going to be very good for Squad Foxtrot. ISRC is going to have to move here.
Absolutely.
Kamikaze Viking forced to play very conservatively, but if they're forced into some sort of charge, that initial trade that he had is going to cost him dearly. They're going to be able to take
Squad
him out.
Foxtrot light play is just completely outclassing the light play of ISRC right now. Those lights are sticking around for ISRC. Meanwhile, Squad Foxtrot has a 4 cap, and they are sending one of their lights to Sigma, going for a 5 cap.
That's going to be big. We're going to have to see movement from ISRC here big time, but they've lost a lot of armor.
But right now, their lights are just sitting around. If they're not grouped up for a push, which needs to happen like right now,
I think it's happening.
Are wasting
this
time.
Is a very spread out push, though. They've got the Timber and the Warhammer in the back, which is probably good since they're the most hurt mechs on the field. But Kodiak's leading the charge essentially alone, putting some shots into Master Bear in that Kodiak. They are getting some of that damage downfield, but
Kodiak's back. One of the Kodiaks is backing off while the other is charging forward, though. This is an unorganized push right now.
They did get a lot of fire in on that initial Kodiak, though, but they're going for the Theta cap. It's going to be too little too late, though. They're still rolling a 4 cap. They need to focus on getting kills here instead of caps.
Absolutely.
It's going to buy them a little bit of time, but Arjuna goes down in the Timberwolf to a well-placed shot. And it looks like Theta was getting interrupted on the cap a little bit. They did finally get it over, but Sarah charging across pretty much alone, lost half of their mech. This isn't looking good for ISRC.
Yeah, really poor support right now on that push, and there's just so much damage coming out.
The lights are in on the backfield in a 2v1 versus the Oxide on Black Jesus, but he's keeping them occupied for quite a long time. And the tickets continue to hemorrhage in favor of Squad Foxtrot. It's going to take a miracle for ISRC to be able to pull this off. They're going to need to land some very key kills and start uncapping stuff.
Ratner goes down in Lunchback 2C.
This looks like this is going to go cleanly in favor of Squad Foxtrot.
The lights for ISRC are holding back again. They don't have any time to be sitting
No,
around.
they don't. They need to be getting in there. This is going to be over really quick here. They're not even worrying about decapping Epsilon at this point. I think ISRC is just done with this drop. This is over.
And here the lights are going to Epsilon, but it's way too late. I mean, to be honest, the light play has been outstanding for Squad Foxtrot.
And then here's the Oxide getting the back cores. PJ Man finishing off both of those remaining mechs on the left side, Kamikaze and Fergonaut, to the backstab. Like you said, the light play has been pristine, and Squad Foxtrot's going to take this one. Wow. But, you know, the misplay by Kamikaze right off the bat cost him quite a bit of armor, put them down right off the bat, but then the lights coming in and just doing an amazing job. Just fantastic controlling the cap points. PJ Man is on a tear. And Squad Foxtrot takes it 8-0. Very commanding decision against ISRC. And we're going to head into drop 2. We'll see what team ISRC opts to pick.
And that was dominant light play.
Take a look at the damage here. Wow. Squad Foxtrot just across the board. Fantastic. 127 damage, 3 kills. Those are backstabs coming in from PJ Man with those center torso, rear torso hits, taking those mechs out right at the end there. But the capping was awesome. Kamikaze held to 281, forced to peak very slowly after getting those initial hits on it, but the Kodiaks held under 200 apiece. No doubt about that one. Squad Foxtrot just traded very, very well. So we're going to be heading into drop 2. Which team is ISRC going to opt for?
They want team 2. They're going to stay on the same side as before. Maybe we'll just see a little bit different play at the beginning there. Obviously, we talked about Kamikaze taking a lot of damage for not really any return. So maybe it's an execution difficulty there.
All right, let's do another giveaway. This was a bit of a surprise. You know, Squad Foxtrot, a very strong team, but ISRC was playing very well as well.
Yeah.
And just to see such a definitive decision like that, I don't even know if that's the right word to use, but a decisive decision is shocking. And so we'll have to see. You know, it must have been a big misplay by ISRC, but we don't want to take that away from Squad Foxtrot. They played very well. So this is for another standard mech pack. And the winner is Criven, just sneaking it out right at the end there.
Oh.
Criven from the House of Lords unit, who we actually saw eliminated from NA
last night.
Yeah, definitely had some intense gameplay. And once again, if you haven't seen those NA matches, go take a look. But Criven, send me a whisper with the standard mech pack that you want, and of course your in-game name, which is Criven. Just to be sure, in case you had a name change or something. But let's go take a look at that replay, see if we can find some of these key moments while these teams get readied up. So right off the bat, an obvious key moment. Misplay, in my opinion, by Kamikaze, for some reason heading up to CSGA Hill alone. I mean, maybe if he was able to get up into cover, that would have been pretty big, but he had like nowhere to go here and was segregated from the rest of his team, getting completely wrecked. And sticking around too, like continuing the trades 1v4 just was not the best idea there. We did have a little bit of a light skirmish. Squad Foxtrot starting off the caps. Eventually Kappa did get flipped back the other way, but getting the caps started off right. And then just the trades continuing on as we went through. Really, not a lot of key moments in terms of landing the shots. I mean, ISRC was getting bled down, but really,
I think ISRC just got outplayed.
It was the light play was, like you said, fantastic. Yeah. Very aggressive light play. And I can't believe like they didn't have an answer for Kappa. I mean, forced ISRC, who was already weakened, into essentially a hard push, and Squad Foxtrot holding their ground, rolling nearly a 5 cap for even a period, but 4 cap for a majority of the tail end of that. And no doubt about it, even when it looked dire in the finish, just the lights just were not jumping into action for ISRC. And that one just bled out, and ultimately ISRC forced to kind of blind push into Squad Foxtrot. And they held their ground. They power positioned on that Alpha Lance corner. So let's get in and take a look. Both teams keeping the same side. It looks to me, though, like we have a deck change. ISRC opting to go Brawl now.
There are a couple Griffins, actually. There's
both
two Griffins
teams
for ISRC and a Griffin for Squad Foxtrot.
So it seems like ISRC is changing it up to try and get the job done, but it looks like Squad Foxtrot might have read this change. Let's see whether or not it pays off. You know, when you get into these brawl versus brawls, you know, focus fire and approach definitely make a huge difference, but this is the kind of match could easily turn into a 1-1 decision on the series, and we might end up back on Canyon Network again. So we'll have to see. Griffin 3M, 4SRM6. I think that's standard engine he has to have for 4SRM6. So he's got the dead shoulder. Kodiak 3 bringing UX, ERPPCs. Everybody's powered up, looking good. So are we going to have an alpha to alpha trade? Now, one thing to note, they have a Griffin up front for Squad Foxtrot. So they're not going to be able to trade with their full force alpha to alpha here. They actually have a hunchback as well. So they got to be very careful here if ISRC decides to show their entire team on this side. It looks like they have quite a few of them out. Initial shots going into that Kodiak. Both
and there's
Kodiaks.
A Warhammer charging forward right now for ISRC. Doesn't look like everyone else wants to go forward.
Yeah, that's a little concerning that Arjuna essentially running alone. They haven't started focusing him down, though. Almost like they don't even see him over there. He's getting away with that. I can't believe that.
And here comes the Griffins. They were jumping up through the pit. They're going to push into these guys. I don't think Squad Foxtrot knows these Griffins are here. Here comes Squad Foxtrot pushing forward now.
They're getting surrounded, though. They've got the Griffins,
These Griffins
like you said,
are
right up in the backfield. Here they go.
Backed off.
Denatonium coming in right on the backfield, getting some shots in on the Oxide. They're going to mix it up right with them. But now, at this point, they're alone. The two Griffins and the Lights are in there alone. They got to get the rest of their team swung around the outside. They're finally getting in there. But we've got the Brawlers mixed up with the main body now. We just have a really nasty spread across the field.
No one has fallen yet, but look at the damage across both teams.
Looks like a little bit more decisive against Squad Foxtrot. There's just better focus going on. And the first mech falls. The Timberwolf goes down, but that took one of those Griffins out.
Each.
Two dead now. 3 dead now for Squad Foxtrot, and those numbers are starting to add up. The DACA mechs are able to stand in the backfield and just pound damage in. They do have a Griffin in on
quick
JK
kills
Fletcher.
for Squad Foxtrot. It is 3-all right now.
That Griffin is working that hunchback who got caught out on the backfield, but it's giving the rest of Squad Foxtrot an opportunity to start putting some damage in on those Kodiaks. 3 mechs remaining for Squad Foxtrot. Almost fresh Griffin comes in for Danawa, but he is getting focused down as well. Oxide going for some back shots, but I think those flamers are starting to add up, and he's starting to overheat. They've got 3 very hurt mechs for ISRC, but they need to start sealing the deal on them, and down to just the Oxide remaining, and Squad Foxtrot's going to fall. We're going to go to a 1-1 series and end up on Candy Network. Unless he gets some amazing shots here. But
that would be one heck of a clutch, and I don't think it's possible.
Goes down.
Down he goes.
8-4 in favor of ISRC, but they are pretty hurt. Let's see how that Black Widow's doing. Still doing all right on that one. I want to say that is the SRM shoulder. That's one shot for the Griffin 3M, but kept it very safe. Kept it alive. Fergonaut, one shot CT. Lost half of his weapons. Sarah, one shot, maybe 2 shots CT. Lost half their weapons as well. But, wow, my goodness. ISRC, that Black Widow at the beginning. That Black Widow at the beginning, able to cross the open field and not take any hits. I am amazed at Squad Foxtrot. They must.
Absolutely.
I don't think they had it like a sightline issue. I don't know how he was able to cross like that.
I think they were just staring at the Kodiaks in the backfield.
Taking a look at the damage, Alpha Lance pulling a massive amount of damage across the board. Those Griffins coming in on the backfield did work, except for Denatonium got taken out pretty early in that one. But 415 and a Griffin, that's what happens when you leave a Griffin alone, alive alone. But decent
Alpha
damage
doing
coming out.
Work for ISRC.
Absolutely. But still, decent damage across the board for Squad Foxtrot as well. That initial Timber, though, getting taken out and held under 100 damage. Wow. What a fight. So 1-1, which means I'm going to have to do a roll.
And we're going to go to a best-of-3 elimination game here. This is win-or-go-home situation again. The second time we've seen this today.
So we are rolling to... who wants Team 1? All right. This is for Team 1 on Canyon Network. And the winner is... looks like ISRC will be Team 1 for Canyon Network. So, while we're at it, I say we do another giveaway. Yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Still an amazing crowd out there. Just under 500 people. And the winner is Bolo79. Congratulations, Bolo79. You are the winner. Send Bandit P17 a whisper with your in-game name and what standard mech pack you want. And we will get that injected during the work week, this upcoming week. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, these teams going to best of 3 games, they must want more mech packs for the people. Very generous of them.
Very. So Squad Foxtrot had the Griffin in Alpha Lance, which, you know, for alpha to alpha trades, they still got up there and started trading in, but they didn't have a lot of beef on that side. So in my opinion, that definitely affected the amount of output they would have on that alpha side. The Griffin could have easily made good time running across the field to rejoin the rest of their team. I'm not sure why they had him in that Lance, but this Black Widow, look at all these mechs up here. I mean, there's a Griffin and stuff, but the Kodiaks and stuff, nobody's shooting this guy. And they have sightline. This guy lost sightline, but all these guys up on the hill here, that's a free move by that Black Widow. Now, Kamikaze takes some hits there as well, but they got the rest of their team now. And then a hard shift by Squad Foxtrot to go down here. I'm not sure if that was a good maneuver. They almost would have been better off backing up over here instead, but opting to move out, and then the Griffin's coming in behind them. Now, Denatonium coming in with a very aggressive maneuver right off the bat. Ends up getting focused down because the rest of ISRC is still behind the rock over here. So they're able to turn around and get good focus in on Denatonium to take him out of the picture. They're still working on him back there. But then here comes that ISRC main body coming around the corner, just unloading ballistics in rapid succession. And Squad Foxtrot does not have an answer for this firing line over here. This would have been great to get the lights in on this. The lights were messing with that Griffin in the backfield, though, but wouldn't it have been nice to have those lights in on the back of that firing line? Yeah. ISRC, DACA just unopposed and able to just put out massive firepower, full face tanking and not taking anything in return. Those Griffins did a fantastic job. The Griffins and the lights did a great job just distracting Squad Foxtrot.
And the key there is Griffin stayed alive.
Absolutely.
It doesn't, you know, putting out the damage is great, but when you're the focus target, if you can just stay alive for as long as possible, it allowed the DACA mechs to do what they did there, which is just sit in the backfield and unload, which is, that's what they're intended to do. That's their purpose. So by staying alive in those Griffins, you enable that Lance to put out that much damage. Clearly won the game, I think, in my opinion, for ISRC.
So well played, ISRC, but taking it into drop 3 on Canyon Network. So while those teams get prepared, I'm going to pop the bracket up on the screen, take a quick bio, and we will be back with drop 3. Stick around. All right, we are back. And we are going into the lobby. Both teams are readied up. Let's take a look at the decks. Looks like we got Brawl coming from ISRC for Canyon Network. And Range for Team 2 for Squad Foxtrot. Let's get in and take a look. Team 2 is north side. So where are they going to set up with that range, you think?
You know, I don't know if they have range. They have Oxides.
They had Grasshoppers.
Timberwolves. They did have a Grasshopper. It could be a
Grasshopper
mix.
screams range.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're going to be brawl rushed potentially by those Griffins, so we'll have to see. So they got that Blackjack in there. They were thinking trade. Brawl in on those non-ERPPCs. Well. It's going to cost him if he gets jumped.
And here we go. Drop 3. Win or go home. ISRC versus Squad Foxtrot.
Man, Squad Foxtrot's going to have to set themselves up perfectly here to be able to handle this ISRC rush. ISRC has to keep their mechs alive, though, on the approach, because if Squad Foxtrot is able to take somebody out, that's going to be huge. Initial setup, they're sending a Kodiak up to Junkyard. Main brawl push
is this a
for
Jarl
ISRC.
Dane Canyon?
Oh, Death Valley! Nobody's going up to take a look. Looks like a Timberwolf might be able to get a look. Let's see if he gets vision. Doesn't look like it's happening. He's staying pretty cagey here. He doesn't see it coming. This movement in Death Valley is 100% obscured. Oh.
They're hesitating.
There it is.
That Timberwolf got
He's making the call.
Go.
He's making the call. Okay, so they got to set themselves up for this big push. And we got the push coming in on the left side. Some Docket coming in on the Junkyard side. They've got some guys in the backfield here. Hunchback 2C, Oxide, Jenner 2C. That Hunchback is going in pretty much solo against those Griffins. One of the Griffins, Rathnor, broke off, but he's got Oxide help.
They got to be careful to not get too distracted by that Hunchback.
Oxide actually broke off, is going for back shots in on the other Jenner 2CA. But Squad Foxtrot trying to pull away, but they're getting run up on quick, and they haven't taken anybody out yet. They've done some decent damage to one of the Timberwolves, but they're going to be in brawl range very shortly here. Arjuna in that Timberwolf right up in front goes down to the Kodiak.
Right now, ISRC is a little too spread out. They've got to keep.
Looks like ISRC is putting a lot of
distracting.
focus on that lead Oxide, giving a Squad Foxtrot the opportunity to continue putting damage downfield. Oxide pulls out. Those Griffins are getting right up into the main body, and it looks like that Hunchback 2C has gone down. They've got lives surrounded. Kamikaze going chest to chest, but he gets taken down before going down himself. Pretty solid trade, but losing a Kodiak is always rough. Denatonium and the Griffin gets handled, but now they are on the corner trading back. They've got a Griffin coming in on their backfield. I don't think they see him. Cerberus and the Grasshopper about to get shot in the back. He's got those flamers to bear as well. They need to handle this Griffin quickly.
These Oxides are distracting the Kodiaks again. These Kodiaks have been completely distracted by
They're
light.
able to handle Rathnor in the Griffin 3M, taking him down. 4 mechs remaining for ISRC. The light play for Squad Foxtrot has been awesome, keeping these Kodiaks at bay, not allowing them to get the work done. Squad Foxtrot might lose one of their Jenner 2CAs here, but...
And a team kill. Fergonaut has taken down Navid A1.
No.
Fergonaut in the Kodiak, getting a team kill on one of their Jenners.
Squad Foxtrot has that Jenner 2CA given a little bit of poke with, looks like, medium pulse lasers in the Jenner 2C. Yeah. He gets taken out by an airstrike, but
only
one mech
remaining
Durfee with 29% and just half his weapons against a very fresh Blackjack 3 and decently, I guess, enough remaining on the rest of the Squad Foxtrot mechs. He gets legged and taken down, and ISRC
there we have it.
Has been defeated and eliminated from the top 5 contention. Squad Foxtrot with a big, solid, surprising ranged deck win against that Brawl team. That light play was amazing.
Well, there we have it. Squad Foxtrot gets a rematch. with 228. Really, the light play, again, the difference in that match. ISRC getting too distracted by those Oxides in the backfield. Their Kodiak spent more time trying to kill those light mechs than anything else, while the Griffins kept charging forward, Timberwolves kept charging forward, and basically stringing out that push. Poor discipline by ISRC cost.
And that was an Oxide and a Jenner 2CA with medium pulse. I'm thinking...
Squad Foxtrot.
Whoa, I had some weird lag coming out of Skype there. You just jumbled up, sorry. But everything you just said got cut off right at the end there. But that medium pulse, that's a very unconventional build, I think, for the Jenner 2CA. But was able to use that effectively right up into the end until getting hit by that airstrike. Holy cow, what a match. So updating my brackets here, Squad Foxtrot's going to go into the finals against 228. But ISRC, well played right up until the end, just fighting hard, doing very well, and then losing right at the last moment in a best-of-3 series, drop 3. That was exciting.
Very, very good games, but Squad Foxtrot, the difference, like I said, I think light play.
Absolutely. So the big question, do they have enough energy to finish this? That is the burning question on my mind right now.
That's what we're trying to find out.
Let's take a look at the replay in the meantime. So, a little bit too far. There was just a lot of distraction going on, I feel, from Squad Foxtrot. That Hunchback 2CA peeling off one of those Griffins. Just they split. Like Rathnor just went alone against this Hunchback. And that Oxide was right there too. Like, I'm not sure if that was the best play for Rathnor to split up from the rest of the main body there. Oxide ended up just saying, screw that Griffin, I'm going to help my team. Jumping up to backcore main body. And just they were able to isolate people quite often here. They've got the Timber on the corner here getting shot up like crazy. That Oxide, look at, they're focusing that Oxide down. And really, that Oxide's fire discipline was very good, making sure not to overheat, even with those flamers involved. An overheat would have cost him dearly. But while this is going down, we still have an ISRC mech at Theta. One of the lights is at Theta still. Like, I believe that was J.K. Fletcher finally got taken down at Theta. But it would have been really nice for them to have that light in there, coring out these range mechs in the backfield. The other light coming in around Epsilon Corner, getting in as well, but coming in behind ISRC. But that was that Oxide PJ man just carrying the team on his back with the distraction. Able to isolate Rathnor in a solo drop there, or solo, you know, getting him isolated. Sorry, I'm freaking falling asleep here. And then, even after getting lagged, that medium pulse Jenner 2C still putting the damage out. Not sure why they left him, but the strike coming in, able to finish him off. I don't even know when that strike got placed. Fergonaut must have placed it right there. And then I still don't see this. Oh, the smoke's right on him. There it is. Okay. His legs open. Boom! Airstrike. But just well played by Squad Foxtrot. But I gotta give it to those lights. That was just amazing. Keeping ISRC distracted. You got any news for me?
Still trying to work it out.